Shalom, this is Levi Shore. Welcome back to Sweet and Good Torah. Alright, so we're going to talk about something from all over the map today. We're going to talk about Purim. We're in the month of Adar. We're coming out of the winter, heading toward the spring, and the amazing holiday of Purim, where the hidden miracles are revealed to us in Esther Megillah. We're going to talk about Iran. We're going to talk about the coronavirus, and we're going to talk about Russia and Turkey, and we're going to talk about the Baltimore Orioles. Okay, I hope this all comes together and there's something amazing we all see in all this. So let's start at the end. Let's start with the Baltimore Orioles real quick. So no one's expecting anything of this team this year. They used to have all their big stars and they had a losing season and they gutted the team and they go into quote-unquote rebuilding. And last year was the first year rebuilding. But I think what a lot of people may not be looking at is, I saw a young team of young guys really working really hard and trying to make it in the major leagues. And there was a lot of camaraderie, there was a lot of friendship on this team, and they got along. And some people started really developing into good players last year. And I think people are not going to expect maybe possibly how good this team is going to be this year. They don't have the big franchise names and the players. And Trey Mancini, man, had an all-star year last year, and he was overlooked for the all-star game. And then John Means, with an amazing rookie season as a pitcher, he gets into the All-Star game and they don't even let him pitch. So we're going to come back to that, but there's a mushel and a point I want to make about the Baltimore Orioles, but we're going to see. So anyway, we're in Adar. We're heading into Purim. On the 14th of Adar is Purim. If you live in a city that had a wall around it in the days of Yeshua ben Nun, like Yerushalayim, like Jerusalem, or if you live in Shushan Abira, the capital city of the Persian Empire in modern-day Iran, and you celebrate it on the 15th for Shushan Purim. And what is Purim? Purim, we read the Megilat Esther. And it's the war, it's the conflict between two nations, the Jewish people, the nation of Yisrael, and the nation of Amalek. And Amalek is sinister, they're hidden, they hide in the shadows in their secret societies. And Amalek was the grandson of Asa. And Asa, or Esau, he was the twin brother of Yaakov. So we have two twin nations. On the surface, Edom, Asa, his descendants going to found the Roman Empire. And Yisrael, Yaakov, he founds the Jewish people. So on the surface, they're twins. They physically look similar, but spiritually it's very different. And the Jewish people, our goal is to reveal Hashem in the world. And we reveal Hashem in the world by learning His Torah and doing His mitzvos and gemilut chasadim, acts of kindness. And we also reveal it in other interesting ways. All the great Jewish comedians and performers show the joy of life. And it shows that something's hidden in that underdog. In the one that everyone overlooks, there's something great and hidden in that person. That's the beauty of Jewish comedy. It's the beauty of the Torah, the beauty of the mitzvahs, it's the beauty of Purim. And Amalek, we've seen him unfortunately in modern days in the 20th century, where some of the descendants of Amalek got control of Germany. And the Nazis, Yamach Shemam, they took over Germany, and they came out of the shadows, and they began their war, our ancient, thousands of years, a war that's been raging for over 3,000 years between the Jewish people and Amalek. And this all comes together in this clash of Purim. And Haman, or Haman, descendant of Amalek, descendant of King Agag, the Amaleki, he goes to war against Mordecai and Esther. And Mordecai, a descendant, and Esther, a descendant of Binyamin, and a descendant of the first king of the Jewish people, Shaul HaMelech, Saul the king from the tribe of Binyamin. And the war begins between Mordecai and Esther and Haman, and it's played out in the days of the Persian Empire. But unfortunately, in modern history, in the 20th century, during World War II, we see that Amalek had power over us in the Holocaust and the horrible destruction that happened. And Amalek had power over us because we weakened our connection to Hashem. But the same thing Haman tried thousands of years ago in the Persian Empire, where he tried also a genocide of the Jewish people, but Mordecai and Esther stopped him. And how did they stop him? They stopped him by reigniting the Jewish people, reigniting their hearts, putting on sackcloth, wiping ashes on his head. Mordecai sat there and he was mourning and praying and beseeching mercy from Hashem. And Esther, the queen, She got all the Jewish people to fast for 3 days to break our hearts, to return our hearts to Hashem. And we were saved from that. We were saved from that horrible genocide that Haman tried to perpetrate all those years ago. So we come now right to our days. And we see Iran rising again as a power in the world. And we see these great conflicts starting in the world. And we see this horrible plague of this coronavirus. And what is the essence of this coronavirus? The coronavirus, if someone gets it, chas v'shalom, they have to be quarantined. They have to be separated from everyone else so they won't infect anyone else. And in the Torah, we see this with the Metzora. And what else does coronavirus do? It affects someone's breathing, clogs up their ruach, their breathing capacity. And they can't breathe, and they have trouble breathing. Chas v'shalom, it's like pneumonia, and it's very dangerous when the respiratory system is clogged up. And we see spiritually, something's happening in Ruchnius. So how do we fight it? What's the spiritual antidote for all this? So we can spiritually guard ourselves from this kind of plague that's spreading around the world. And then why has it infected Iran to such a degree where Iran, the mortality rate of the disease is so much higher than the rest of the world? I think it's like 4.4% in Iran. It's affecting high levels of their government. For the rest of the world, it's, I think, around 1%. Maybe a little above, maybe a little below, but it's around there. So how do we protect ourselves from this? And what's the essence of this coronavirus that's spreading throughout the world? And we see the essence of it is Ruchnius. Ruchnius is breath. Ruchnius is spirituality. And how do we vaccinate ourselves spiritually? By Gemilas Chasadim, by Shmir Salashin, by speaking good of other people, looking for the good in other people, looking to compliment other people, looking to uplift people with our words, lifting to learn the beautiful words of the Torah and let it elevate us. Let it elevate us in Ruchnius and doing kind things for each other. That's the spiritual, that is the inoculation. That is the spiritual protection against this coronavirus. And that can stop its spread. So we don't have to be quarantined and shut off from everyone else, but we can live together with everyone else. In Ruchnius, in Gemilas Chasadim, in kindness, words, uplifting words to each other, kind words to each other. This is how we fight this disease, and this is how we fight Amalek. Because when we reveal Hashem in the world, when we reveal that there's this infinite creator and this infinite being that runs the world every day, that creates the world every moment anew, and when we reveal that there's this infinite being that loves everyone and creates everyone with love and compassion, and the Torah begins with chesed, with kindness, and it ends with kindness. And when we begin to emulate, we reflect the greatness, the ultimate giving power of Hashem, we begin to bring Hashem more into the world, and Hashem becomes more revealed. And that's how we weaken the power of Amalek. So it's interesting. So the Baltimore Orioles, I don't know what's going to happen with them this year. Zrat Hashem, they go to the playoffs and win the World Series. I don't know. But no one's expecting much about the Jewish people. We're the ultimate underdog. So you may say to yourself, wait, hold on a second. The Jewish people are very prominent in the world. You know, Bibi Netanyahu, he just won maybe that election. But we're going to talk about that election real quick. Did he win? And we see like President Zelensky of the Ukraine, a Jewish person is president of the Ukraine. And we see 3 Jewish women on the Supreme Court. And we see many prominent congressmen, senators in America that are all Jewish. So like, hold on for a second. It seems like the Jewish people are very prominent in the world. And Hollywood is run by many Jewish people. Many talented Jewish people work in Hollywood. But wait, hold on for a second. But what's the one image that we don't see in Hollywood and we don't see in the media, and we haven't heard much about? It's the Jewish person that's held on to it all. It's held on to the Torah and the mitzvahs for 4,000 years. You know, when this all began with Abraham, when it all began with Abraham. And you don't see that person. You don't see that rabbi in the movie. You don't see that religious Jewish person that loves his neighbors, does so many acts of kindness and tzedakah and charity and chesed all the time. We never see that person in the media. And that's the true underdog. And the true underdog, we don't see the Melech. We don't see the hidden king right now. When Israel Hashem will reveal to the world Mashiach, the anointed king, who's going to reawaken that Ruchnius, that spirit of love we have for Hashem, the love in the days of Moshe Rabbeinu, where Hashem brought us out of Egypt and Moses was our leader. We brought us to the foot of Har Sinai, of Mount Sinai, and received the Torah. And this king is hidden. Because Hashem will see soon the coming of a king in Israel. So what's happening in Israel right now? Israel just had, I think it's like their 3rd election. And And Netanyahu and Likud, they needed a coalition of 61 seats. But it's fascinating. They only got 59. Now, Rav Kaduri, it was reported, and it was supposedly viral on WhatsApp in Israel, around Rosh Hashanah, that Rav Kaduri, the great Makubal, Rav Yitzhak Kaduri, that he had said, he'd written in some scrolls, and he'd written in a sefer when he was younger, I think it was called Sha'alto LeYitzhak, that 5780 was going to be this great year of tikkunim, a great year we can fix ourselves up, we can fix the world. And he says that the Israeli government would not be able to form. And he said that on this Rosh Hashanah that passed, on 5780, there would be a battle in Shemayim between the Sitra Achra, the powers of Amalek and Tuma, dark spiritual powers, and the Sitra Kedusha, powers of holiness, the side of holiness. And that we would see who would win control of the Jewish people. And it is fascinating because what if Netanyahu can't form this coalition? And what if this Israeli government can't form again and they go to a fourth election? Then maybe is it really finally time? Is it finally time that Hashem's going to reveal this hidden king? And there'll be a king again in Yerushalayim and Jerusalem that's going to inspire the world to the beauty of the Torah and being kind to everyone, not this dog-eat-dog world. That's the false philosophy of Amalek and the Greeks. It's a world created by an infinite being. It's created all with love that wants us to be partners with him in creation and learn the lesson of the Torah that the world began with kindness and it ends with kindness, and that's how we live our lives. And then when we start bringing this kindness into our life and into the world, we'll see the end of the coronavirus. And we'll see the end of this Persian Empire in Iran that still persecutes Jews today and still treats them as like second-class citizens, and they don't enjoy the religious freedom of Jews from the rest, all over the rest of the world. And we'll finally see freedom for the Jews of Persia. And we'll finally see the redemption of the Jewish people after over 2,000 years of this Golus Edom. 2,020 years of this Golus Edom. So Bezrat Hashem, maybe we'll see great things from the Baltimore Orioles this year. A team of young, hard-working guys that play hard every day and love, and have great brotherhood and love playing with each other. Okay, that's not great, but you know what I mean. They enjoy playing. They're a good team. They have good teamwork and they play together. And they're not the big franchise names. And then also maybe this is going to be the year where the Jewish people wake up and the great underdogs of the world, wake up to who we really are. Not assimilated into secular culture, but a nation, a Goy Kadosh, of holy people that speak holy words of the Torah and do the mitzvos and show the world that kindness and compassion reign supreme. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you back again soon on Sweet and Good Torah.